You guys about ready to check out the rest of this engine as far as me getting it back together? I hope so. I've got the engine and transmission just about done, minus a few gaskets and a solenoid switch. Anyhow, I think this is going to be a great time to go ahead and bring you guys along, let y'all jump in and see all the specifics on getting this thing back together. It's quite a bit going on, and hope you guys enjoy it. Welcome to Potter County Patina. Let's do this. I want to attest to my gratitude to you guys. I'm going to try to make this brief, under a minute. I hit 400 subscribers today. I'm about a year and a half in, and I think you guys are all pretty loyal to me. I get a lot of compliments. I'd like to get some feedback, but thanks to all of you guys who check out my content. Miss Parker is behind me. The boys come by today. We just switched some stuff around. Engine is done. I'm waiting on a part for the transmission. So we're going to be doing an engine swap pretty soon. But who wants to follow along and watch me bag this? If you're not already subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. Jump on there. When I first started this, it was a little bit rough, and I get it, and my editing was horrible. It's gotten a lot better. We're going to get into it. We're going to bag this wagon, and I would like for you guys to join me. So take a few minutes out of your day, catch up, subscribe, and thanks to the first 400. You guys rock. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed any of that. Keep the vacuum close to your surfaces to get the gaskets and stuff off. You want to get as much of that out of there as you can, as you possibly can. Once I cleaned the cylinders, and I'm going to clean these 20 different times, but I put some deep creep in there just to keep them kind of oiled up. So on this, and I've done this before, I'll put you guys, no, actually I won't, because I need to charge the battery. But I'm going to go ahead and get this little vacuum tip that's on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little standard screwdriver. And I'm going to go around all these little deals very carefully and just get out the big chunks of carbon. We're not trying to clean it. We're not trying to get in there. We want to get out any big pieces just on this top surface. And that's good. Okay? Hold your horses. That's the easiest way I found to do a lot of this stuff, is just to make it happen somehow. Not that I'm anything special, but it's a pretty good idea. If you're thinking about this, all that stuff that's inside the water jackets on this will wind up in your radiator. So why not, while you have this out, stick a vacuum down in there and just poke and prod and try to get out as much of that rust as you can. There was a bunch. I know you guys didn't see it, but it started sucking stuff up right off the bat, which is what we want. And I got all those little corners that were in there all cleaned up. So let's get on to the next part. Yes. Guys, I want to bring y'all in for just a minute and show you the engine. I'm just about done cleaning it. By just about meaning I need to soak it down with some brake clean again and get it nice and clean. And you know, I'm just kind of cleaning the surfaces. You don't want to introduce a bunch of air. The air will blow junk into the engine and the rings and stuff like that. So I keep vacuuming and, you know, just doing little things, flip it, soak it, wipe it down. Went through a ton of towels. I'm gonna have to go get another bag from the shop. I'm gonna bring some more towels, so I've ran out of towels. Let me just say it that way. I'm gonna get this thing cleaned off with some brake clean, and then I'll probably come through and clean it one more time, 2 more times. And I do want to show it to you right quick. The transmission, I put the pan back on. It's setting over here level, and it's on my little service cart. And I've used that thing for a few transmissions, and I'll paint them while it's on this. So that works out well. But let me bring you guys in. Oh, you know, also I'll mention this. Get you guys some old barbecue tins and set them across your trash can like this. Before I started doing that trash can, or the transmission, you can't see, but I got a pan in there that catches all this stuff. So if I'm hitting stuff with brake clean, like I'm fixing to pull the heads over here and do them, I'll do it above this where I can blow everything off and it falls in that pan, and then I put it in my oil container. I'm trying to get my shop, I want another oil burner in here, but I don't want like a rigid big oil burner. I want like a good efficient one that I can hang from the ceiling. Let me flip you around this way. So I still got to wire brush, you know, you put my circle drum on there and get a lot of the smaller stuff over here. But I've got all that debris out of there, so I'm gonna start soaking that, clean that area real well. Right behind the balancer, all of that is loose now, but I need to get through there and clean that with clean brushes now. Wipe down this surface, okay? Still have a little bit of gasket there, but I'm gonna let this engine set at this level for another, or at this, leaning over like this for another, oh, I don't know, for a while. And right off bat, I don't see that. There's one tooth that's missing on this. Otherwise, this thing looks pretty nice. You can see where something hit this. I mentioned it in another video. But if I'm looking at this, it lines up with that starter bolt. So anyhow, I'm gonna get this soaked down, and that way I can leave the heat off and go eat some lunch. And I'll be right back. So. Detroit Diesel is this color. Jump in the comments and let me know what you think. I really like it. I think it's a nice color. I do like the one that has a little more blue in it, but not quite Pontiac blue. However, I had this, it was a full can, and I'm trying not to spend any money. So I will be doing the cylinder heads in the cast, where it looks like it's an aluminum cylinder head. I'm gonna see if I like it. I think that I will. And I think that's the way I want to go. And then the little crossover tube from the heads, I'll do it in this color. I think that would kind of give it some cool contrast and make some black accents. I've already done that power steering pump and the pulleys and all that stuff, if you guys remember that. So I'm trying to kind of keep it with the same color theme, other than this is going to be a little different color, but it's just going to be on the block. And I think that I will use the aluminum valve covers, the polished ones, and just get that cleaned up, get a nice valley pan for it. However, until that comes, I will clean the steel one up and put it on there. Just leave the gasket kind of loose. But got the engine block painted, got the transmission painted. I dig it. Guys, I've had that heater running for about an hour. It's relatively warm. It's still super chilly. It's like, I think it was like 14 degrees outside. 19 degrees. So it's pretty cold, and you can hear the wind in the back. I'm gonna go inside, finish some editing, so I'll catch back up with you guys in a bit. I've got a heavy coat on here. I'm just gonna let it dry for the next day or two. And I'm gonna get on to greener pastures. I've got the temperature up to about, I don't know, I'm probably gonna say it's probably 50, 52, 53 in here. I've had that short block sitting over there by the heater for a couple hours. I've got it nice and warm in here. I came in here earlier and got it going. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting a couple of light coats on these heads, and I am gonna change the engine color. I do want it red. You know, I got to thinking about it and I'm looking at it. If we have a red car, the 364, I'll do back the same color. Well, it is, I'll keep it the same color it is. But as far as putting a 401 in here, this would have been the color that it was. And I would like to have it red. Or the block anyway. The rest of the stuff, the block and the thermostat crossover tube, it'll be red. But the rest of the stuff is going to be either black or this little aluminum, you know, the engine aluminum color. I'm going to see how it looks, and then I can switch out the valve covers. Like I said, I've got enough stuff here to make it look cool either way. So I've got it warm enough in here to get to painting. I'm going to get to painting and start seeing if we can get some of this stuff put together. Figured I'd keep you guys with me too on this one. Oh, you know what? I need to cover them heads. I don't like having overspray on my heads. Or on the valves. Don't want that. Don't like it. A lot of people say it doesn't matter. However, I think it kind of does. Not that it, like, well, if it comes off and it's in a solid piece and you put it on the, or it gets in there, I just think that it could possibly be bad. I'll put it that way. But other than that, guys, we're doing this. So I can't hit those just yet. It's down in there pretty good. Let me continue on. I just think this will look cool. Tell me what you guys think. Drop it in the comments there. I've had aluminum heads on quite a few vehicles. I always like the look of them. I don't mind cast iron heads in most instances, but aluminum heads just look cool. I don't know if there's any denying that. And for some of you purists go, they would have never have done that. I don't know why you paint them silver. Because it's mine and I want to. There we go. Just trying to get a nice solid coat on everything. I can clean out the plug holes, that sort of thing. Just want to start getting some stuff on here so that the next 45 minutes I can walk around, flip stuff, and get more paint in, you know what I mean? Get some painting done. I turned that heater off and I can already feel, if you guys can hear that big garage door behind you slapping back and forth. Super windy. Wanted to bring you guys in just a little bit there. And I don't know if they had a Buick red or this or that. I know they have a Chevrolet red. I didn't get that. This one has that more maroon color in there. But I think this is going to be the way that I want to do it, guys. So I'm going to spin this around and bring y'all in. Can y'all see? Hey. There we go. Y'all ready for this deliciousness? And I've been warming these up and shaking them up as I walk past them. You've probably seen it in the time lapse, but I think I'm gonna be happier with this, doing it this way. So let's begin. And I've got a nice coat on here. You guys seen it just a second ago, last night. So really the coverage is good. There's a few spots, maybe you can see some flaking. Don't care. This should be warm enough. I should have put my little temp gun on there to kind of see what it's going to be, or what it is temperature-wise. That would have probably given me a better idea, but like I said, it's pretty warm in here. My nose isn't running, that sort of thing, so that's good. Or at least that warm. See, I think I'm already liking that better. I just think it was going to be a little too much in there, and then if I ever do decide to paint it or this and that, and this engine's still in there, now I'm like, you know, I got this Detroit green engine, you know, in red. The wagon's red and aluminum pop, red and black pop. The seats that I have are red and white. So I was like, when we do the interior, it's gonna be just a very little bit of red. I don't even like red. Somehow I keep lining up with red vehicles, but I've never liked it. But I don't want to paint it. But anyway, I think that it gives us more color options, that sort of thing, and kind of ties the whole thing in. And after I got it painted, it was a lot like last time. I'm not sold on that color. I think I said in that last video that Detroit green is what I did this first in, and it wasn't. I did it in Pontiac blue because I had it. One of my neighbors come by and was giving me a hard time about it. I was like, well, I got to pull it apart anyway. So no biggie there. I'll just change it when I do. And I did. If you guys watched any of that Craigslist rebuild video, we'll turn this so we can get to that damper. The other spots on it. Hit it from the bottom. Yeah, I already like this better, guys. Yeah, it's covering very well too. So I don't know, was there a Buick red? Is that a thing? I bet it is. Goodness gracious. Ugh. Yeah, I painted that from up the other way. There's a lot that got missed. There we go. How do you like red now? Heavy coat. Heavy coat. I'm gonna continue on, guys. All right, I've got a few hours and I've got the shop warm and I want to bring you guys along. I've got a lot of things to do. So I've got the heater sitting here. It blows across here, but these are the parts. It's the water pump off the 401 that's in excellent shape, and the crossover tube. I've got to clean the water pump. The crossover tube is already clean, gasket it, paint it, and I'd like to start putting parts back on the engine. This intake that's right here, I've got to take this, cut these out like I did the 313, and put it back on. We'll talk about that in a second. The transmission, we have got to get the new seals, put those on. I got the new O-ring for the selector, or not the selector, but the shift seal and the kick down deal, whatever you call that, and O-ring. I've got all that. I have got to get the dipstick tube out of the back of my truck, clean it and paint it. The valley pan, the one that was on here, I'm going to put this together as it was sitting. I'm not going to pull the stuff off the 364 and put it on here just yet. I want to get this put together and moved out of the way because I got to clean this up. I'm about to turn 50, and I think we're going to be having a party at my house here in a few days. So anyway, I just want to get that stuff cleaned up. I'm going to bring you guys along. I will put you in a time lapse, and oh, let me show you the Junior Dragster. Kind of cool. I've got to keep walking around it. Runs real well, runs on methanol. Pretty cool little deal. I got it in a trade, and my thought was I'm going to hang it right here and put LED lights under it and get rid of those UFOs and put those over there and just put some nice string lights under it to where I have light on this workspace that's equivalent to that. Or put it right here. You guys drop in the comments. Because I can set it here facing up, and I've got that cool hood that I'm going to set up, and I got some parts sitting outside for right there. Anyway, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to bring you guys along with me, and let's get into this. It's about that time. Guys, I thought I would bring you in for just a minute. I went ahead and cleaned all these bolts and got them stuck on there. Can you guys see what we have going on? I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to torque these down at this moment. I'll do that in a lickety split. But I do want to run these down so that I can get the rockers and that sort of thing in. And it makes great practice. Now, I wrote the measurement down just a second ago. I did go ahead and check the bore in here. Seemed like it was, I'll look in a minute. But anyhow, I met Richard just a few minutes ago, Precision Transmission. Super nice gentleman. And I'm going to have him do the transmission whenever we get to that point on Whiskey Dent, the bag truck. If you don't know anything about that, check out the playlist. I built a pretty cool truck. He just lives on the next block, so that's going to be nice. I'll check the very specific torque sequence when I get ready to do these. I just want to get them on there right now. I also should probably check. I'll bust out that book that I talked about. Make sure that I wasn't supposed to put any silicone on any of these. I didn't see anything on any of them when I took them out. But I'm not sure. I don't know that they're in water jacket. Already tired. I got the gasket kit on the way, so that's exciting for this engine. I had the head gaskets off the 364. Matt told me this morning that yeah, you can use those. That's what comes in them. The I think he said 364, 401, and something else were all the same gasket, same heads. They use the same heads. And if y'all remember, this set of heads look great. All right, guys. We're going to be opening up this valley pan. We've got to drop these lifters in there. So when I did this, this is the front of the engine, okay? This is the water pump side. I'll spin this around so that I know as they're sitting on the table, as they're sitting there, they just go right back in the same holes. We'll put the push rods in, they're setting up. Then I can go ahead, after I get that done, I'll have the rocker arms just kind of on there. Then I'll torque everything down. Reason being is I have to clean this bench up soon. We've got guests coming over for my 50th birthday. So I've got to get busy and get this going. I'm probably just gonna put you guys in another time lapse and we're gonna continue on. So that's that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is on these intakes, per Matt and Russ, and I did it on this 364, is we've got to cut these two out here. In essence, we're making a dual plane. Now this one goes under, but I believe the butterflies hit. So we've got to get this out and clean up all this inside and make that a smooth transitional surface? Man, that sounded cool. We just got to get this cut and cleaned up. I thought I'd make another video. The last one that I made on the 313 intake, I had music in the background, so I have to be very careful. So I've got to a point where I'm pretty happy with it. Now, I will come back in here and clean a little bit of that hump up, but if you see, we just kind of contour everything and try to make it look nice. You know what I mean? Take the little burrs off. You guys just seen me make the little studs out of 7/16 bolts. Just cut them. They were a little too long. Made them about half that size. Just, you know, put a little slit in it, some blue 242, and that is set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and blow this off one more time. I've had the heat rolling in here for a little bit, so I'm gonna set that and the valley pan back up over here and put a coat of paint on those and call it a night. Now when the gasket set gets here, I can put that on, put the valley pan on, go ahead and pull the valve covers off, torque the heads, torque the rocker shafts, and put the water pump on. So we're getting pretty close. Yes. I figured it's probably pretty important to get these heads torqued while I have them in it. So what I'm gonna do, I've spent a few hours out here with the camera off. Got the distributor cap on, plug wires, kinda ran, that sort of thing. So this is where you guys are gonna pick up at. Sound good? I've gotta get these torqued. And I haven't busted out the book, but I do remember it saying 60 to 70 pounds. I'll probably go in 2 steps or 3 steps, 25 or like 35, 50, 25, 50, 70, something like that. But I figured I'd bring you guys in with me. And I probably shouldn't have put the rocker shafts on. Of course. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and spin those off, put you guys in a time lapse, and I'll catch you in a minute because I gotta pull the rocker shafts right now. Yippee! I had to cut quite a bit of that out. I had some neighborhood boys come by and check on me. Hadn't seen your door open in a while, mister. They're out riding their mini bikes. But I got all those torqued down. I went 30, 50, 70, and then 75. Let me get these started. And then I'll torque these down. That shouldn't have popped already. It don't have that much pressure on it just yet. I wouldn't think. Let me check this right quick because that has a little bit more resistance than I think it should. Push rods are in. Yeah, that valve is... Okay, so it is. It's right there on that lifter. There we go. Little at a time, guys. Little at a time. I just want to get them bottomed out, and then I'm going to torque these down. I think at about 40. I'll check on these. I'll need to get that book out anyhow. You see, I think that's probably got them bottomed. Yep. Okay. Oh my push rods. I guess that little clip broke on there. It just ain't gonna hold a socket. Good. All right. Let me get this torque wrench set up and I'm gonna bust these off, guys, and then we'll just be waiting on the gasket kit to come in. I'll go ahead and cinch down the plugs and put the plug wires on there, put a little grease on it. Got the water pump assembly on there. Got the crossover tube, which was a pain in the arse. This is that intake after I cut it all up and everything. Looks pretty good. I got the exhaust manifolds over there getting painted black right now. So, let's keep on keeping on. I'm not going to put the fuel pump on until I get that. Oh, I got that oil pump gasket I need to put on this oil neck and attach the starter. So, let me get that done. Shoo. My wife and kids just pulled up as I'm finishing up. So, got their rockers. Rocker shafts done, okay. Everything's torqued down. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this to grease on, kind of put this together, because we know this top is done until those intake gasket and that pan gasket get here, the valley pan, then I can put a towel over this and I know that it's done. So that makes me super happy. Just greasing this up right quick. Make it easy on you later. If you don't know, you should. Stuff is awesome. It's still on top dead center over here, guys. So I've already got all this done. I'm just putting everything back together now. Wait on them valve covers. Oop. Wrong one. Oh, what a pretty day. Had some of them young kids stop by just a bit ago on their dirt bikes. They're little. They were out brapping it up. They get by the shop and they make a lot of noise. And if I'm in here, I'll usually open it up, see what they're doing if I have them in it. If not, then they'll just keep creeping on by. I don't know if my wife and kids have even seen this dragster sitting here. Pretty cool little deal. But anyway, guys, that's about it. I got a carburetor kit. That Holly that I had for this isn't gonna work. So I'm just gonna put a 1406 back on here just to store it until I'm ready. And then when I pull that ABS, it'll sit right on here. And I have extra gaskets, so I'm not real worried about it as soon as they get here. Temp switch is in, water pump's in, fuel pump will pull off when we put that one on. They said that it works. You know what? I better check that just to make sure. Because if I got to get a new fuel pump, I need to do it now. That's about it. I got one more gasket to put on the oil pickup deal. But that's it for tonight, guys. Yes. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Huh, puppy? Huh, pupper? We're getting there, pupper. We finally reached a point that I'm happy with. I'm going to flip you guys around for just a second. The engine is done. I am waiting on the valve cover gaskets and the intake gasket. I went ahead and got another gasket set so that I can put the 364 back together. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to have to swap some parts. But whatever I used out of that kit, I'll have extras for the 364. So it's not bad money spent.
I did notice this when I was changing out this filter. I was going to put the new filter in and clean the pan up. This was very brittle and it just broke right off. So I'm going to get a new solenoid for that. Got the pan cleaned up. I'm about to put a coat of paint on it. And it's all cleaned up on the inside. I got some magnets and I need to find them so that I can drop a few in there. Workbench is kind of cleaned up. Just kind of been picking up a few things. I got the wagon in here. The boys come by today and they helped me get that big Cadillac bench seat out. I got that out and I like it a lot better. I threw those little low back buckets that I've had in here, and I don't like them in the front, but I do like them in the rear. They fit good in the rear. So you guys jump in the comments. Tell me if you think I should keep these low back buckets and find another set right here. I did want to build a console anyway because I'm going to have all my air ride stuff. The manual gauges I'll have down there. You know, a little console for your drinks. I'm still looking to see if I can find some old school looking Alpine stuff. And I want the head unit, the equalizer, all that stuff. I want it to look pretty retro. Anyhow, this is where I'm going to end this video, guys. I certainly appreciate you taking time out of your day. And I know your time is just as valuable as mine. If you found any value in this, excuse me, feel free to like it. Subscribe, say hi, you know what I mean? If you're local to me, man, jump on there and say something. I encourage it. But that's about it. And guys, you keep in mind that I don't have a shop and I don't do this type of stuff for a living. You guys can do this just as well as I can. You see that I have a lot of stuff. Guys, this is years of accumulation. We were talking about this last night, and I think people think that I do that. And I don't do brakes for people. I'm not that. I don't do that. I just work on my junk out here. Which I want to keep it that way. I'll help my nephews and, you know, my buddies and stuff if we need to do something, but it's usually something cool. I don't want to do people's brakes and change out this and that, but if you want to do something cool to it, I'm usually down for that. But anyhow, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Today's my birthday. I'm going to go inside. I got to shave and take a shower and everything and get ready for dinner. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, man. Just go build it and be that person you wish to see in the world. That's it. I'm going to get on to the next one. Oh, I'm going to get this ready to bag. So if you haven't already subscribed, you're probably going to want to subscribe because I'm going to bag the stuff out of this. It's going to be dope. Till next time, guys. Have a good one. GoPro, stop recording.